Washington mornings on the Mall. 105.9 FM. And AM 630. WMAL.
8:07 on WMAL, where Washington comes to talk. Hey, at the bottom of this hour, the Oscar nominations come out. We will be joined by Christian Toto from Big Hollywood to analyze the picks.
I'm just a country boy at heart.
Now, if you like picking, listen to this.
Is that you, Brian?
No, I wish that I could play like that. That, of course, is the legendary Ricky Skaggs doing Country Boy. For about 10 years now, I guess I was adding it up the other day, I've known Ricky Skaggs. We've become friends over the years. And he does a concert every January over at the Birchmere, it seems like, in January. He does a couple of shows over there. And it's time. He's going to be here Friday. He's going to be here Saturday. And he's going to be here right now because he's on line one. Ricky Skaggs, how are you?
Good morning, Brian.
Where are
you doing, buddy?
You in Nashville today?
I'm in Nashville today.
All right, so you'll be here tomorrow. So tell me about your shows. How long have you been coming and performing at the Birchmere?
For a long time. Gosh, back in the 70s, I was going to the Birchmere, and almost every band I've ever been with, except probably Emmy Lou, we've played the Birchmere, and so. It's just a great place to play. Now, we didn't play it last year. We played it so many years, we thought we'd just give it a break, and not do it last year in 2012. But we really missed being there. So this will be a good show. We've got a new record out called "Music to My Ears," and we'll be doing some songs from that. Of course, the song "You Can't Hurt Ham." That's the Bill Monroe story that's taking bluegrass by storm. So.
When you get an email from Ricky at the bottom, and he always signs off. You just can't hurt Ham.
You can't hurt Ham.
You can't hurt him.
It's indestructible.
Hey, Ricky, last time we talked to you, you were out on the campaign trail. You were doing some opening acts there for Mitt Romney, and thanks for that. And I know that the response was huge with the crowds out there. Since then, we've heard you've run across the Judds now and then, haven't you, in your career?
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I've known those girls for a long, long time.
And, Ashley Judd is now hinting that she might run for Senate for the state of Kentucky. I wonder if you're inspired by this. Are you ready to run for office, Ricky Skaggs?
No, sir. I might run for dog catcher down there or something, but I doubt I'd run for office.
Well, what do you think about singers, performing artists getting into politics and running for public office?
Well, I think it's good if their heart's in the right place and they're really wanting to make a change and do something, that's going to help the nation, not just help themselves. I really just detest the idea of a career politician. I just think that it's way too easy to make a career being a politician and just all the benefits that come there. I'd love to see a lot of that changed, to where people go in for a certain term, they work, and then they get out, and that the taxpayer don't have to keep them up all these years, and all with all the benefits. That just kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Who's a politician that you particularly like right now?
None of the above is an acceptable answer.
Well, I think there's some real rising stars, and I think there's some good, solid men, I think, the Ted Cruz guy that's just coming up, I think he's got a lot of great, fresh ideas. And of course, I like Marco Rubio. I like his attitude a lot. Lindsey Graham, I just think he's a hard old nut, and I think we need some people like that that's in there that's not going to let it's not going to let some things slide. I think Benghazi would have gone away, months ago had the Republicans not just been tough as nails and said, look, we're going to find out the truth about this one way or the other, and we're not going to put it under the rug. And so I'm thankful for people like that's trying at least to hold people to account.
Our guest is the legendary Ricky Skaggs, and by the way, Ricky Skaggs and the Kentucky Thunder will be performing this Friday and Saturday at the Birchmere Music Hall. And Ricky, you mentioned, we talked about people in the music industry getting involved in politics, and, you know, Ted Nugent is also a performer, a musician, and he's been very outspoken about gun rights. Guns are in the news so much today, and I'm guessing that a big core of your fan base are very protective of their Second Amendment rights. What do you think about the current conversation?
Well, you know, I don't think we have a gun issue. I think we have a moral issue. You know, we talk about falling off the physical cliff. I think, you know, America has fallen off the moral cliff, and I think that's one of the main problems, you know, with all that's going on. It could be a gun. It could be, I mean, it's obviously easy to get a hold of, you know, but, you know, we do have rights, and I think those rights need to be protected. I do think that there should be some stricter background checks on people that do have problems. Mental illness, I think, is definitely, you know, something that we need to look a lot more at. But, you know, the founders gave us that for a good reason, and I think that, you know, that we, here again, we need to continue to stand and you know, not let the threat of executive orders and that kind of stuff, you know, put fear in us, you know, because we're a country that wants to have the freedom to have guns, and you know, I know, being a gun owner myself, and a legal gun owner, by the way, and I have my permit, and you know, I certainly exercise my right of being able to have guns. I think it's right. A wonderful thing to have.
Let me bring this back full circle and return to music one more time before our time runs out. Many people may not know that you actually lived in the Washington, D.C. area when you were an upcoming performer, and there was a really interesting music scene. You would often, you told me the story how you would sometimes walk into a party somewhere, and there would be like Linda Ronstadt, and there would be like the person you eventually became, the leader of her band, Emmylou Harris.
Yeah.
What it must have been like to sit around in somebody's home and pass around the guitar and trade songs.
Yeah, John Starling was working at Walter Reed at the medical center there, and he was a great friend of mine, and worked in a group called the Seldom Seen, that I was, you know, friends with, and yeah, we'd go over to John and Sue Starling's house, and you know, like you said, and there'd be people there. Lowell George from Little Feat would be there, you know, from time to time, and yeah, it was a great scene back in those days. You know, Emmylou played the Child Herald, and of course the Cellar Door was just a great place to see music all the time. All kinds of different people would come in there, and the Red Fox in Bethesda, and of course you know, the Shamrock over in Georgetown, and Washington's always been a big music place, and especially for bluegrass.
It's big on bluegrass. Well, listen, you're going to be at the Birchmere on Friday night and also on Saturday night. I'm going to catch up with you on Saturday night. I'll look forward to seeing you there. But I always, it's a mixed emotion, because when I go to see Ricky Skaggs play, then I have to go home and put my guitars away for a while, because I have been in the presence of greatness, and it's just frustrating to know that I will never be that. But anyway.
Right. Brian, we're here to encourage, not to disappoint.
Well,
okay?
It frustrates me, I'll tell you. My good friend Ricky Skaggs, thanks for joining us here
Ricky.
this morning. I'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you, Larry and Brian. Thanks for having me on.